Hi, Tom Watts with Tech Republic here on site at Scale Computing Platform 2026. Now, it's been a busy 12 months for Scale Computing, and we've been hearing a lot of exciting updates during the talks this week. And to find out more, I'm delighted to be joined by Bill Morrow, CEO of Scale Computing. Bill, lovely to have you with us. Pleasure. Now, to kick things off, what problem does Scale Computing solve for its customers?
You know, I don't think we solve a problem. I think we open up an opportunity. With AI and machine learning, all of that is wanting to become more interactive with the client. Where's the client? They're on the edge. And so we create the ability for that AI and ML workloads to come to life, to truly engage. But you can't do that unless you have infrastructure there. Of course, the more compute you're going to have local, your bandwidth requirements are dramatically increased. You just can't have a water hose of pipe. You have to be able to structure those streams to high available applications. And then, of course, security, right? Now you're interacting with people, their identities, and so the security around that. So I don't think we necessarily solve a problem. We open up a massive opportunity.
Fantastic. And obviously, Scale has evolved greatly in the past 12 months. So you've brought lots of solutions into the portfolio. How do they fit together in your mind?
You know, the great news is that every one of our platforms can stand alone. And they stand alone long enough to become very valuable because we've had all that client-rich information and exchange. With the edge growing up, now these platforms are allowed through our multiple node structure here to put them on top of each other. In the old world, if you wanted a firewall, you put in hardware for firewall. $3,000, $4,000, the install fee. If you wanted SD-WAN, it was hardware. If you wanted edge, it was hardware. Now it's just the edge hardware, and we can virtualize these other components on there. Great for the environment. You don't have all those machines getting hot and needing more air conditioning. Great for my clients' pocketbooks. They're not buying multiple sets of hardware. They're consolidating it in one structure. So I think it's a great time.
Fantastic. And you spoke in your keynote about how almost everybody interacts with sort of Scale Computing in some capacity without even realizing it. You know, we remember nobody won the $100 bill.
That one guy tried to.
He tried hard. How does that work in practice? Can you talk us through some of those examples maybe you spoke about in the keynote a little bit more in depth?
You know, we empower a lot of the multi-site world, so it's kind of hard to avoid us. We are the underlying infrastructure that you don't ever see Scale when you walk into Hudson or Scale when you walk into Casey's. But we're that underlying infrastructure that makes everything work. And we're relatively pervasive. We have over 100,000 sites, about 7,500 clients around the globe. And a lot of our clients have a lot of sites. So you'd have to really be sneaky. Only Jason Bourne would have got my $100 yesterday.
Maybe one day, maybe next year at Platform.
Hey, if he shows up, I'll give him my $100. Some people you don't want to play with.
100%. Yeah, so how does that deployment footprint look like in real life?
It's super rich. We probably have 500 to 1,000 sites just here in Vegas. So we're relatively pervasive in every state of the nation, all throughout Canada, very strong footprint, and then a very good growing footprint across the US. What I didn't do is try to go outside the States. What we did was we worked with great partners here that they then said, Bill, man, what y'all are doing for us is great here. Would you please extend that to our footprint over here? So we got pushed over. And then once we built up some fortitude bases and we said, okay, great, now let's launch forward. A lot of companies try to go overseas, but they don't have the infrastructure to actually support the client. And we were supporting our overseas efforts by supporting the clients here that were supporting that. But now we've built up those clusters of selling partners, clusters of our own employees. And so we have a strong global footprint now.
Fantastic. And you mentioned the global footprint there. Like, what is the benefit of that global footprint to customers around the world?
A lot of our clients are global, and they don't want to run a system in the US, a system in Canada, something else somewhere else, because they get no synergies of value, right? And so we have to, when you're going to deal with some of the mega brands of the world, like we're privileged to be able to do, you have to meet the obligation of saying, I'm just not going to sell you my tech there. I'm going to be able to support you there. So that global footprint is increasingly important for the global clients. But I can tell you, I've got 4,000 or 5,000 single site clients. I'm a single site client at the Be Happy General Store if you're in Concan, Texas. swing by. So from a single client, we're very usable, to a global client, we're extremely usable there as well.